people. Thank you to everyone that have gathered here today. My name is Wilbert Way Halai, the Rescue Minister. Alongside me are colleagues who have come forth, supported this process, and we have come to speak to our president, the head of government, in terms of using Mwaka. I'm doing the introductory aspect of this press statement. The next voice you will hear after me will be Daniel Basobo Johnson, and at the close, you will have Derek Nangwe, who is serving as the SG for the great movement, the concerned supporters and members of the Unity Party and its alliance. At this point, I will turn over to Daniel Basobo Johnson, who will present to the media and the Liberian people our press statement and concern in general. Thank you.
Thanks, PR. Concerned supporters and members of the Unity Party and its alliance calls for the immediate suspension of Minister Amin Muda and all those public officials that refuse to declare their assets. Also, calls on Chairman Tabe as board chairman of MPA and all other party officials appointed to resign in compliance with the Code of Conduct. Today, we as ardent supporters and members of the Unity Party and its alliance have gathered here to reaffirm our support to His Excellency Joseph M. Bwaga in past and fruitful engagement on the global stage since His Excellency as President of this great Republic of Liberia. We feel inspired by his administrative relentless efforts to secure Liberia a non-permanent seat at the United Nations Security Council. This, we believe, reflects his vision of placing Liberia at the helm of international diplomacy as well as restoring the country's wrong image in the international community, which is a testament to his unwavering patriotism and dedication to advancing our national interests of the Republic of Liberia and its people. However, while we appreciate the President's flag for Liberia at the United Nations and other international platforms, it is important to speak to the growing widespread disease of alleged corruption being notoriously carried out by some members of his cabinet. Notably, among these many acts of alleged public corruption is Mr. Amin Muda, the Minister of Commerce and Industry, who has sought to blatantly disgrace the very people on whose sweat and backs this rescue mission became a reality. Who let himself to drive as gift from a company accused of defrauding the government he works for, while thousands of rescue supporters struggle and the people of the Republic barely afford their case school fees, rentals, and put food on their table. To say the least, there is an affront to the suffering masses. It is painful that those who loudly criticize others for bastardizing and or using their office at the disadvantage of the people are now the very individual doing the same they fiercely criticized yesterday. This, we cannot remain silent on his. We demand an immediate suspension of Amin Muda by President Joseph M. Bwaga, thus giving a leeway for an impartial investigation by Anti-Corruption Commission LACC to ascertain the extent to which Amin Muda is involved. Also, we are calling on the President to take appropriate actions in accordance with law. All those public officials named by LACC as non-compliance and defiance officials who did not declare their assets within the statutory time period takes. We believe if the President takes the necessary action, will send a strong message about his seriousness, initiative, and policy against bad governance. Additionally, we also call for an immediate audit of the National Social Security and Welfare Corporation National by the General Auditing Commission (GSC). Minister Sylvester Grispe must come forward and clear his name regarding the alleged 500,000 misappropriated by National to purchase vehicles before the president was sworn into office. Corruption and mismanagement cannot be treated with less importance. Therefore, grace pay and all other wrapped in the pool of alleged acts of corruption must answer to the Liberian people. Similarly, the acting head of the Liberian Telecommunication Authority (LTA) must clear his name regarding allegations of corruption of criminal misconduct during the previous administration. We cannot be selective when it comes to the fight against corruption. Lest we forget, the rescue mission was called to liberate Liberia from corruption, poverty, and inequality. And this call can only be answered by our government. Non-negotiable efforts to wage war against corruption and corrupt elements, regardless who is involved. More than ever, we must hold fast to that promise and fight for the future we deserve. Our government owes it to the people of Liberia, and this is why we have stepped forward to echo their cries and prevailing unanticipated gang raping of the state treasury by some selfish elements. On the other hand, while it is important to state that we value the job done by the CSA relative to the ongoing payroll cleaning, we also draw interest in ascertaining why the government wage bill has mysteriously increased, especially when the CSA is lying claims or removing old names from payrolls as various entities. Transparency in government is starting on to any serving democracy. Hence, we demand the civil service agency boss to explain how his increment in the wage bill was incurred and made no significant employment drive. So our question now becomes, what causes such a hack in the payroll? This upbeat management of government funds is not acceptable, and we demand immediate clarity. Fast forward, we commend the efforts of Mr. Luther Tabet to speak out publicly about public officials involved with acts of corruption and blatant abuse of office. Notwithstanding, we also encourage him to forge a new chapter, and this seeks to ensure the true independence and objectivity in his voice. Therefore, we call on Chairman Tabet of the Great Unity Party to resign as co-chair of APA. For we believe that his resignation will allow him to dedicate himself fully to his application for the party and create an environment where his actions do not conflict with his position. Similarly, the call also goes out to all other officials within the party who hold appointed positions in government and to step down. This is not merely a symbolic gesture, it is a fulfillment of the code of conduct which the government took on to uphold. Also, we urge the chairman to retreat. To the party headquarters daily, where he can directly engage with partisans and supporters and listen to their concerns. Our people are hungry, angry, and suffering. And it is the responsibility of the Unity Party-led government to bring solace to the partisans who remain the backbone of this rescue mission. The deprived partisans are ones on whose back the election was won. But today, they are left in rooms to run in hardship and unemployment, while few harnesses and just bunkers continues to live lavishly. While grassroots partisans who went door to door, stood in the long voting lines and fought for the campaign remains unemployed and have zero economic opportunities to better their lives. We see these actions on the part of those sitting in position of authority as cruel and selfish. And what is even more disgusting among the actions of these in lucrative position is the unremorseful action of giving a well-paid job to their unqualified girlfriends, boyfriends, family members, and friends across government ministry and agency, while deserving and qualified partisans are left to work in poverty and hopelessness. Sir Director Bassamba Johnson, General, Tibuku Namu Secretary General, and William Ewa, Public Relations Officer. Thanks.
So, distinguished members of the press, you have just listened to the chairman who have eloquently read the statement of the concerned supporters and members of the Unity Party Alliance. At this point in time, we'll take 3 questions from the press for interactions, and subsequently, immediately after the response to these questions, we'll come back to this press conference. So we'll take it.
My name is Jay Cassius. I report for Today Liberia Television. You are calling for the immediate suspension of Comrade Minister. What could be your next action if he's not suspended?
So here's the point. We think the most appropriate thing at this point in time is to have him suspended, is to call on the president to have him suspended. If he's not suspended, then there could be actions announced in official. But for now, we think it is imperative to have him suspended so as to give him leeway for an investigation that will be impartial. Because if it's on the job and the LEC decide to investigate, we think it will jeopardize and undermine the integrity of that investigation.
A follow-up question: do you think the president will listen to your request?
We believe that President Walker listens, and we will not cast that at this point in time, except there are reasons too. But we think as a president that listens and as a person who are pledged to fight corruption, we think at this point in time he will listen to ensure the suspension, which will follow by an investigation to ascertain the facts.
So thank you. You guys did impact and report for the DNS that day. Basically, you spoke, your chairman made mention of hypothesis and misappropriation of government funds. My question has to do what measures could you consider to ensure that nepotism and misappropriation of government funds can be secured?
The chairman.
No, we didn't speak on nepotism. What we said, and I quote, we said all party officials are giving jobs to their family members, boyfriend, girlfriends, and these are people that we didn't see in the campaign, and they are enjoying on the back and plot of our efforts as
It is quite a nepotism that
and supporter of the Unity Party. So whether it is nepotism, whether it's favoritism, what we are saying is that those people that didn't do anything when it comes to our political engagement for the 2023 elections, we find at the end enjoying on our sweat while 100,000 of parties seeing.
So what measures could you guys put in place to ensure these things are altered?
So let me do a follow-up answer to that. Now, when you speak of nepotism, holistically, I think we tend to look at the highest score. Why is shooting those on the lower position might employ other people, but more weight is carrying the president, that which I think he did not speak to in that regard. What can we do? That is why we encourage the Civil 7 that is carrying on a reform. And that reform will ensure that the right people get a right job irrespective of their connection. So with that, we believe we can settle this for nepotism.
Then the last question.
I'm very formal report for General Secretary. I listened to your previous report. Then here you were talking about the lawful behavior the president is carrying on the laboratory communication by moving telling positions, people from telling positions. So it will address that.
So the fact that we didn't speak to him at this conference means that we will not respond to questions.
Yeah, so I'm Jay Cassius again from Today Liberia. We listened to you reading your press release. You spoke of government officials who has position in the party as well. You made mention of the current party chairman. In my mind, I want to know as to whether the statement being placed out there by the chairman, this abusing the fact of the art exhibited by Minister Muda as one of the auxiliary of the Unity Party, do you think in his capacity as chairman was it right to do so, or is against, in your own belief, do you think against your will? Because your question now is all those who are having position within the party should resign before having before giving such statement. Do you think it was correct for him to do so?
So you listen to or we welcome the move by the chairman. We applaud the chairman's courage to speak in this dispensation where many parties, leaders who somehow choose not to. The chairman must have the courage to speak. We acknowledge that. But we are also saying to the chairman, Mr. Chairman, why we recognize and appreciate the fact that you have begun the process to flag out misgiving in the state. It is equally imperative to be reminded that we have laws on the book. In the laws talk about the full implementation of the code of conduct. The code of conduct is very clear that you cannot be holding party positions and at the same time holding senior government officials. So to have more weight to speak on the basis of morality with more vigor and voice and credibility. We are saying to you, Mr. Chairman, it is imperative, say you're chairman of the party, manage the day-to-day affairs of the party, and let the politicians do their job. At which time, okay, in more leverage to speak. So beyond the chairman, we are saying the full implementation of the code of conduct. There are other parties, people in different political parties, as to the alliance, all these senior positions. We are saying resign those positions because the act of you remaining in government, holding senior party positions in government, holding senior government position and at the same time senior party's position, it comes in conflict with the code.
So you follow up finally, if the individual wants, because it's in the twofold, this person is serving as other chairman for the party and he's serving on the board in certain part of the government, is in twofold. In case this person want to resign his party position and occupy, do you welcome it as well?
Is violation of the code of conduct.
Thank you.
If you value and cherish the job or the party, we welcome that. But we are saying, we as a party took an oath to the president of the blood of hope and defend the Constitution. Now, one of that is to ensure that we respect the code of conduct.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, the same way, ladies and gentlemen, at this point in time, we call this press conference to acclaim us until we meet again.
Thank you, folks. Today, Liberia Television, J. Cassius have been my name. The group calling for issue of the concerned supporters and members of the Unity Party, calling for the immediate suspension of Minister Amin Moda. Folks, I have been J. Cassius. Many thanks to all of you for following us on today.